Hello, this is Mr. Martin. I'm going to walk you through a fun, simple little animation that you can do using the open processing website that we've all signed on to. You're going to have to log in, and in the top right corner, be sure to click on Create a Sketch. And then from there, when you open it up, you want to just double check. Usually for me it defaults, but double check that you are clicked over here on P5JS. That way, we're running JavaScript with the P5 library already in. So what we're going to do is a few different things today. We're going to create a circle that is going to move and kind of jiggle across the screen when we run it, moving up and down. So we're going to start by establishing a couple variables because X and Y in this are both going to change. They're not going to be fixed numbers. And since they're going to change, we need to establish them as variables. So I'm going to write some comments in here. I didn't click on it. There we go. So when you do the double backslash like that, you're writing a comment. So I'm going to say, where is the circle? Or we're actually create variables. So this is just going to tell you where the variables are. Space that a little bit there. All right. So to do that, we are going to simply go let is the word that is going to establish variables, X, comma, Y. X and Y are going to be variables that are going to move throughout our code. Next we have to do is we have to do our setting up of the canvas, and like we do on all of these. So like before, it's function setup, close the parentheses out, and then establish a open bracket. You're going to create the canvas. You have a couple options on sizes. You could do like the screen width and height like I did before, but to keep it simple, I'm just going to make a 720 by 400 pixel screen canvas for us to draw on. Now we want to make sure that the dot that we're going to draw the circle starts in the middle. So I'm going to put a little comment in here. Start in the middle. Started in the middle, we have to tell it where its X and Y is going to be. So we've already established X and Y as variables. Now we're going to give them a starting point. So X is going to equal the width of the screen, and that's going to be divided by 2. So we're actually just telling it the halfway point of the screen. And Y is going to equal the height. You'll see what that is later. Don't forget your semicolons, as always, and then close your bracket. We're finished with that part. We got to do our draw function. And establish the background color. So function draw is for that. Parentheses, close, open the bracket. And then we are going to, you can play around with the background color. Remember, you can do simple, just black and whites. I'm going to go 200, which is kind of an off-white. You can also put 3 numbers in there and play around with RGB color codes if you want. This is something you're going to be able to do when I let you go and customize it. Next, we're going to draw a circle. So I'm putting a little comment there so you know that's what we're doing. Set the stroke of the circle to be 50. Again, that's a number you can change around. Fill, this is the color. Set it at 100 for now. Oops, look what I forgot. Semicolons. Silly Martin. And then for a circle, it's actually not a circle, it is an ellipse. Ellipse location is going to be X, and it's going to be Y. Those are the variables we set up, see? So that's where it's going to start. We put numbers in, but since we made it a variable, we're going to do that. And then the last 2 numbers are the size of the circle. And since we made those 2 numbers the same, that ellipse is going to be a perfect circle. So our next block of code is we're going to make the circle kind of bounce left and right as it's moving across the screen. So we're going to bounce the circle. So they'll comment there so you know what we're doing. And it's going to be randomly. I'm going to make it bounce kind of randomly. To do that, we have to tell it kind of a math equation for x. So throughout all this, x is going to equal x, so whatever its x coordinate is, plus, and this is where we are going to pick a random number between, I'm going to go -2 and 2. Now you can increase this, decrease it, you can change, but this is the range of numbers. So it's going to pick a number in between those, and it's just going to hop left and right as it moves. And now we're going to make the circle move. Move circle up the screen. And we're going to do that one at a constant speed. So here's a little algebra equation for you. Very simple one. Y equals, so it's y coordinate, it's going to equal whatever y currently is minus 1. That means it's going to keep moving by 1 at a constant speed. Another number you can play around with and see how it affects. Where maybe you could even throw in some different variables in there and see. Last thing we need to do is when it gets to the top of the screen, we want to reset it. So to reset to the bottom of the screen, we have to put an if statement. So if y becomes less than 0, because the top of the screen is 0 here, it's moving down. So if it's less than 0, put your bracket there, then y equals height. So it's going to go back to where we originally established its height. If that makes sense to you. And then it will go and run through that equation again and slowly move throughout. Now we need a closed bracket for that one, and we need a closed bracket for the entire drawing function. So now if I typed everything right, we're going to test the code, see if it works. Cross your fingers. Syntax error, line 12. See, now we got to go back and check. So I screwed up somewhere, line 12. Background color. Oh, I don't know why I put color. I think I was talking about color as I was typing it. It's just background. There it is. Bouncing back and forth, moving across the screen. As we go, it's going to restart back at the bottom. That's not fun enough bouncing. I'm going to change bouncing from -10 to 10. Let's see if it really bounces across the screen. Whoa. Maybe we, oops, it's not a typo there. But if we did 100 and 100, because the screen's 400, so that should be enough. Oh my, that is out of control. Your job is to put in that basic code I started you with, which again was this. Let me change these back. And then I want you to play around with it. I want you to customize some of the, maybe make a bigger canvas, work with the stroke of the circle, the fill of the circle, change the size. Maybe don't even do a circle. Maybe you turn it into a rectangle. Change the random numbers, maybe play around with how fast it moves up the screen by changing this number. You have some options here. So go ahead and customize and play around with that. I want you, because this is a moving one, I want you to take a video of it and then upload that with a screenshot of your code on to Schoology. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions. And as always, please don't forget to like and subscribe.